everybody, it's Sandra here with Clean and Simple Life. So as I mentioned earlier today, if you saw my video at lunchtime, it's What's for Dinner Wednesday, and I had no idea what was going to be for dinner. So I had some leftovers in the fridge, and so I went shopping in the fridge, and what I came up with was a taco mac and cheese. So we had tacos on Monday night for Mexican Monday. So I did have some nice leftover meat there, quite a bit. So I went down to my pantry where I always have pasta. Today I happen to have some, I don't even know what these are called, but they look like kind of springy type things. So thought they'd be fun. So I'm gonna make our mac and cheese, mix that up, and then I'm gonna combine it with the taco meat that I have left, and I'm gonna put it in a little casserole dish, top it with some grated cheese that again we had left over, and then it's all gonna go in the oven. It's not gonna take very long. It's really to sort of bring everything together, reheat that meat, and melt the cheese because everything else is already cooked, right? And then once it comes out, I have some taco shells left. I'll just crunch those up. We'll put those on top along with the salsa that I made with our pico picante salsa. Put that on top, and there you go. That's going to be dinner. So the mac and cheese, this is one of the staples in my house. We go through so much mac and cheese in this house, it's not even funny. My youngest son, Duncan, who's 15, was never a fan of Kraft Dinner mac and cheese. Would not touch it with a 10-foot pole. I introduced him to our Epicure mac and cheese. The kid will eat this 3 times a day if I let him. He will make it on his own. He gets the multi-purpose steamer. He'll make his pasta in the microwave with that, mix it all into the bowl, and there are days he'll just eat it right out of the bowl. So super great. It's a white cheddar, no artificial flavors, no fillers. It's gluten-free, as you know. This is amazing. If you have not tried it yet, please, please, please check it out. It is so good. And it calls for 1/3 cup of milk. Now, I'm just eyeballing this, and I want this actually a little bit more liquidy than it would normally be because I'm going to be mixing it with that taco meat and baking it all together. I actually want it a little bit saucier. And it also calls for, I think it's a tablespoon. I never measure this thing. 2 tablespoons of butter. So again, I don't particularly measure. I usually do a little bit less milk than it calls for, but that's what we're gonna put in for butter. Again, like I said, I want it a little bit more liquidy and creamy than it normally would be because it's going into the mix with the meat. So I can tell already that I need a little bit more milk. And I also saved some of the boiling liquid from the pasta to thin this out just a little bit and give it some body. Always a great trick when you're doing pastas is to save some of that pasta water. It's got so much flavor in it, and it will just help to bring that sauce together because it's already got that starch from when you from the pasta, right? So unless you're, I don't know, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know about gluten-free pasta, if it would do the same thing. Maybe some of you guys who are gluten-free could fill me in on that one. That would be cool. But I do know that for regular pasta, it definitely does the trick. It brings that sauce together. It just gives it a nice body. And this is looking pretty darn good right at the moment. I'm gonna add just a smidge of that water because I want it liquidy, but I don't want it too liquidy, if that makes any sense whatsoever. There you go. You can, that one's a little hot. There we go. So you can kind of see what I'm talking about there. It's got some liquidity to it. All right, and I'm going to add my taco meat right into the pot here so I can mix everything together. There we go. There, and you guys can kind of see that. There we go. And my nice taco meat that I made the other night with our Epicure taco seasoning. And when I make my tacos, my taco meat anyway, this was a mixture of beef and chicken ground. Mix those together. But what I also like to do, aside from just putting in the taco seasoning, is I also like to use some of our nacho cheese dip mix in there. It just gives it a little bit of extra flavor, gives it a little bit of a creaminess. So now, move this one out of the way. There we go. So I've got my baking dish. There we go. Try to make sure that you guys can see what I'm doing here. And try to do this without making too much of a mess. Not sure that that's going to work too well, but you know, we'll give it a try. I try to keep things real over here. You guys have seen me do stuff in the kitchen before. You know I'm not exactly the tidiest cook in the world. There we go. There. Okay. That doesn't look too bad. Here, see? Now I've got this beautiful taco, cheesy, I'm going to call it the cheesy taco bake. Cheesy taco pasta bake. There we go. And my grated cheddar here. Spread that over the top. And I'm going to pop that in the oven at 350 for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, maybe, tops. Like I said, just long enough that the meat is heated through and this cheese melts. And it really won't take very long because the pasta's already hot, right? So it's really just heating everything through. So there is what's for dinner. We're using leftovers and making something delicious. I always love big batch cooking, you know that. Cook once, eat twice is a huge thing. So this is something really super easy that you guys can do. Most people will have these things in your pantry already. So definitely a great way to use that up. And we currently have our Stay Home, Stay Safe campaign with our 30, 60, or 90 days worth of meals, meal solutions that you can order in. We've got the taco, we have the mac and cheese, and using staples in your house, you are good to go for about a month's worth of meals without having to do too much grocery shopping. So if you want more details on that, message me. And I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your evening. I would love to see what's for dinner at your house, so please make sure you share that in the group, and pictures are always welcomed. Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening. Bye.